It's Maggie LaPete from KBFK Radio. We're about to surprise Fernando Pullum at his Community Arts Center and his wonderful students with a signed Carlos Santana guitar. So, shh, stay with us. Oh my God. Everything gets wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our good friend from KPFK.
I remember when we did the Heroes of Hope show, February 2018, and I had a Carlos Santana signed guitar as one of the raffle items. And I noticed that so many of you, like, were drawn to it and, really excited about it. So on behalf of KPFK, I want to present to you guys a signed Carlos Santana guitar that you can play and, it belongs to you guys because I love y'all so much and the work that Fernando does, and it's just our way of saying, thanks for all you do. Special thanks to the Santana management, because when I told them what I was going to do, they were very excited, and we're going to be sending the footage to Carlos and his management team, Adam Fells, and the whole gang up in the Northern California area. So maybe you guys want to say something to Carlos. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Oh, hi, you guys. This is today we are with Fernando Pullum, and unfortunately, YouTube is not letting me on, so we'll post to YouTube afterwards. And but most of my audience comes on through Facebook anyway. So hi, Fernando.
How you doing?
Good.
You look like a mad scientist trying to navigate that YouTube.
Yeah, I still, after all these years, I still am not 100% sure why YouTube sometimes doesn't allow me to stream and how to fix it. So, so anyway, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but today it's not, but that's all right. Facebook is actually working, so. So Fernando and I bumped into each other, and when I found out who he was and what he does, I thought, oh yeah, absolutely, I have to interview him. Um, he's in Chicago right now, though, not L.A.
Very cold.
Yeah, it's almost like you can't get warm enough when you go out, right?
Nothing I can do. It's painful.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of getting burnt.
So Fernando, well, first of all, he said you probably don't remember him, but my friend Gary Fukushima is a writer for Blue Note, and he's a great pianist. He lives in LA. He's an educator. But he interviewed Ryan Porter for that documentary,
Hmm.
and anyway, he said to send his regards, and I'm looking forward to seeing that documentary. I didn't
It
know
was
about
it was
that.
it was gut wrenching. It's really good.
Yeah,
Well done.
yeah, I had no idea that Ryan had gone through so much deep pain. You know,
Yeah, I mean, of course, I had him when he was a teenager. I met Ryan when he was in junior high school. And my favorite story about Ryan I used to yell at him all the time because he would get confused between first and second and third position on the trombone,
yeah,
and it would drive me crazy. And so we happened to be playing Whitney Houston's last concert, Ryan and I. And Whitney came on stage. She was telling really bad jokes that everyone felt obligated to laugh at. And they were laughing, and I was tearing up. They looked at me and said, like, what's going on, man? I said, well, man, I was so happy because Ryan was playing better than me. He went from this guy that could not play, that I constantly yelled at, and now I'm looking at this guy, and I knew he is making it. He could really, really play, and that was exciting to me because I also, it's a different time back then, because you could take kids around. And Ryan, I remember he spent the night at my house because we were going to a jazz camp in Oroville Hills, like at the crack of dawn. So there's no way I was going to wake up and go to South LA to pick him up. So he had to
yeah,
spend the night with me. And so I just remember all those special moments, and I've had those moments with numerous students.
yeah. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're a trumpet player,
Yes.
and you grew up in LA?
No, I grew up in Chicago.
Oh, right. Sorry. You grew up in Chicago. And so when did you start playing trumpet? Was it like a musical heritage kind of a thing with
Uh,
family or
Absolutely not. Well, my uncle played drums, and I had a very challenging upbringing. So, and there was a bugle sitting on a couch, and I picked it up and I made a sound on it, and everyone applauded. For the very first time, I got some positive reinforcement because I was like super violent.
Hmm,
I mean, I used to fight every day, and it was because of insecurity. Because my mom was actually, well, both my parents were addicts, but I grew up with my mom partially, and my mom was a prostitute in my neighborhood. So I was like really aggressive because if someone found that was my mom, I want them to be afraid to tease me about it. So, but that was the first time I got some really positive reinforcement when people started applauding me. I said, man, I just loved it. And I want to get back to that, and believe it or not, I liked Elvis Presley. I like Elvis Presley, the Carpenters,
oh,
Henry Mancini, and,
wow.
and James Brown.
Wow.
Elvis was on TV all the time, and
Yeah,
I grew up with my great grandmother, and she was like super, super strict
yeah,
because she didn't want me to fall in the footsteps of my mom.
yeah.
And so we didn't have records in the house. It's no dancing allowed. None of those things. We went to church like almost every day,
Wow.
and so I remember I was looking at Elvis he had all those movies,
Yeah.
and his saxophonist was gyrating, playing the horn. And I was like looking just in with such intensity. My grandmother looked at me and said, like, "You want to be like that?" I said, "No, no, I don't want to." In my heart, I said, "Yes, yes, I want to be just like that cat." But I couldn't tell her that.
Oh, oh my God.
Yeah,
So was she okay with you playing?
she was okay because she thought I was going to end up playing at church.
Okay. Yeah.
But they didn't have trumpet in church at that time anyway, so
Yeah.
I didn't. And I didn't get. My mom never heard me play at a
Yeah.
performance. The first time my grandmother heard me play when I was in middle school,
Hmm.
and then my whole family heard me play when I received my master's degree.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And it's like really crazy because, well, they heard my mom never heard me play at all, and I literally played on just about every television show, like Saturday Night Live, uh, the Tonight Show, everything but David Letterman, basically. And my
Wow.
mom still never caught me playing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, that's pretty incredible.
yeah,
Especially your master's, you probably were uh pretty moved, right?
yeah. You know what? I didn't go to the traditional things. I didn't go to graduations. I thought my mom would show up and I'll be discovered. And then when before I received my master's, my grandmother, my mom's mom, said to me, and we were very close. She said, "Hey, you don't have to invite her." I said, "What?" I just never thought. Just don't invite her.
Yeah.
Finally went to a graduation ceremony and just didn't invite my mom because my grandmother told me I was okay not to do so.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's some deep shit, man.
But you know what? It's not as. But my mom, I'm gonna say, I'm not. When I say these things to people, they think, "Oh man, his mom was horrible. You're trashing your mom. You should never say that about your mother." But actually, my mom was a huge inspiration because she was really brilliant. She went
Yeah.
down the wrong path, but she was really brilliant.
Yeah.
So I figured if I worked hard,
Yeah.
I can be her best representative. Like they say, "Hey, you're really smart." I said, "Well, if you think I'm smart, you should see my mother." And she was really brilliant.
Yeah.
But and I just noticed that there are a lot of brilliant people in prison. There are a lot of people that are brilliant that make the wrong turn because they think they can outsmart everyone, and
Yeah.
their brilliance gets them in trouble.
Yeah. 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 So, then, what occurred as far as like you were in school, and then what happened after school? Did you go on the road, or did you go to another school? Did you come to LA? What happened?
I came right to LA because at Michigan we came out for the Rose Bowl, and
Uh-huh.
we got off the plane and said like, "Wow, it's 60 degrees." And we were walking around just in paradise because it's 40 below wind chill back in Ann Arbor. And
Yeah.
man, we lost our minds. We walking around, taking our coats off, getting down to shorts and t-shirts. And the Californians are walking around with coats on. We looked at said, "What's wrong with these people? They're wimps." But I have to admit, I am a wimp now. I've been acclimated to this weather. So if you get 60, I'm wearing a coat too. But and then my last year I was playing the opera. What we did, Race Progress by Stravinsky, and Robert Altman was the director. And I had this challenging thing. I had to crawl under the stage with a headpiece on, body paint with knickers on, and someone would crawl behind me, and I would come up through this cauldron that was bellowing smoke, and this person would hold me by my ankles so I wouldn't fall, and I had to play this super delicate solo. It was the most terrifying thing
Oh my
ever.
God.
So I survived this. So Robert Altman told me, said, "Man, I'll get you in with John Williams. I'll get you started, blah, blah, blah. I'll open the door for you. Just keep the door open for yourself." So I almost drove nonstop, really with minimum, I would sleep maybe an hour or two. And I was coming straight out to California because I thought I'm going to work right now. I called all the people that Mr. Altman gave me, and all they said was, "Hey, tell Bob I said hello." I said, "Oh my God." So then I took the test to become a music teacher, and they give you a subject area test,
Uh,
and I completed that, and I was excited. I wanted to know the next step, so I called the music office. I said, "What do I do next?" They told me, "Hey, we have a lot of music teachers. You in Los Angeles, we don't need you." I said, "Oh my God," I was hurt. And plus, I was running out of money very quickly because LA, the prices were about 4 times higher than those in Michigan. And um, I started substitute teaching in El Monte. And then I got called by my friend. I was playing a little bit because my first job happened to be, I played with the Temptations and Four Tops. And I thought I had made it. I said, "This is great. I got a gig." And that gig ended. And then I didn't have another gig. So they had to do things to survive. And then a friend called me and said, "Hey, they're doing a fundraiser at the school in Washington High School where I eventually started teaching. Uh, Michael McDonald singing, George Kirby, comedians performing, and the cast of the Young and Restless are doing a fundraiser." So I played that gig, and ironically, Michael McDonald is one of the nicest people on the planet. He's just
yeah.
down to earth. He's just incredible. I didn't own a car, and Michael didn't want to drive. I guess he had a long distance to drive. So it ended up being the two of us sitting on the campus in South Central by ourselves outside between the concert and the rehearsal. So I got to talk to him, but he doesn't remember that, I'm sure. And so the principal came on stage, and he was so dynamic. His name was George McKenna. Denzel's first movie was portraying him for a television movie.
Huh,
This guy was dynamic.
yeah.
And so George started speaking. I said, "Man, I want to work at that school." He just inspired me. I said, "This is the school I want to be at." I went home. I do believe in divine intervention sometimes. I believe there's some things that happen that we don't control. It
Yeah.
just happened.
Yeah.
And I said, "Man, I want to teach at that school." And that next day, I get a call from one of my grandmother's friends because I've been playing in my grandmother's church, and that woman happened to be the head counselor at that school, and she invited me to interview. And I said, like, "Wow, here I go. This is my job." And so I get down to the school for the interview, and the principal, George McKenna, is like, you either loved him or hated him. He did everything right for kids, but he's gonna go against the system if he had to get the things right for kids.
Yeah.
So he interviewed me and he started, "Man, you can't handle this. You're too young." And I started screaming, "Yeah, this is my job," because it came to me. It was divine intervention. So he said, "We don't have any money yet. We got a budget of $50. I don't care. I don't need any money. I'll do the marching band." So then he finally said he's gonna hire me, and he told the secretary to call downtown, and she called downtown, and then she said, "Dr. McKenna, you can't hire him. They said we have to take the next person on the list because he's
Oh,
a maverick and went outside the lines all the time." So then he was apologizing to me, and then she said, "Hey, the next person on the list," because I had scored the highest on the music test. I did not complete the application. The next person on the list was me. And I was like, I mean, this is the first time I actually publicly told that story. George McKenna knows, and I told a few people. But man, it's like, it just seems like you're either bragging and say, how could this possibly be real? All these dominoes just lined up. It's like, how in the heck? So I knew that was my spot. So I started teaching in Washington High School, and we had a great time. It was challenging. I wanted to quit every week. I saw. I shouldn't say this because I hate saying certain things because it's sensationalized is what people believe and hear in the press. But the first days I saw someone get shot
oh,
on the street, and I'm going home. I said it was just rough.
yeah.
I would say, "Get me out of here! I cannot teach at this school." And
Yeah.
then I called downtown. This gentleman, his name Frank Harris. He said, "Fernando, you can make it. Just hang in, hang in, hang in." And I ended up hanging in, and we ended up from that school. I think there were like 8 Grammy winners from that school.
Wow.
Yeah, so we had a great time. I had Lionel Hampton came played with us. Stevie played with us. Winston Marsalis. A lot of people would come to that school to play because
Wow.
they really worked hard.
Yeah. Wow. So, okay, so now you're there and you're teaching and you're probably playing too, right?
I played every night. I was doing musicals. Then I got a chance to play with. I played with a lot of different people, and it was like really great in those days, because I played with Ella Fitzgerald, Etta James. I did a lot of hip hop music. I played with all the R&B folk. So I would go to the studio, almost nightly to record on a record. And then I taught at a community college called Southwest College down the street. So I had 2 full-time jobs. I played 8 shows at the Pasadena Playhouse. Then I would go to the studio after I played at the Pasadena Playhouse. And sometimes I would go back to school with the same clothes on, reeking. I think I woke up my class with only the smell.
Oh my God. Wow, those were the days, man. What
Yeah,
what what year was that or years?
that was 80s,
Uh-huh.
the mid 80s.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing, huh? Totally amazing looking
You know,
back.
you know what, it was like I truly believe that when you think you're helping someone else, you're really helping yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I told her, I could never, I had so much embarrassment with surrounding my mother, and the kids were not listening to me initially. And I just walked in one day and said, you know what? And I could never say my mom was a prostitute. I would like ease into it. I said, my mom used drugs. And you know what women do to raise money for drugs, and when I could lower myself honestly to the other kids, to the kids' level, and just basically tell them it doesn't matter what your parents have done or what anyone else has done around you. Ultimately, you're still responsible for yourself.
Yeah,
And so I was telling them, and then that was, I think it was helpful to them, and for me more so, because now for the very first time I could say, be honest, say my mom was a prostitute and drug addict.
yeah, yeah. Wow, that's amazing. I'm sure a lot of kids had their minds blown and changed or made healthy decisions for their own perspective. That's really powerful. Really powerful.
Well, a lot of them experience. Unfortunately, a lot of them had the same story,
Yeah,
and so the thing is, all of us, I don't care where you come from, you
yeah,
think you're isolated when you're going through issues, and
yeah,
so
yeah,
just was saying that you're not alone, and you will survive. You can come out at the end of this in a better place. So that's
yeah,
what I was trying to do.
yeah. Wow. So that was the '80s, and so how long did that period last? What happened? You changed, or well, you at some point you created the art center, but that must have been a little bit later, right?
Yeah, that was later.
Yeah.
Well, we were doing well. We were doing really well. I was, you know, I should say the kids won because they recognized the teacher. Like, if if you succeed, and so we had 100% graduation for like 15 years in a row,
Wow.
and uh,
That's
so I ended
fantastic.
up I was the national teacher of the year, the state teacher of the year.
Oh,
Uh, uh, VH1 did a special with me included in it, which
wow.
was crazy because I was trying to, they had the guy who plays Frasier on television, Kelsey Grammer.
Yes.
He was they called me and they sneakily, and I'm an open book. So they were filming me the whole time. They said, we're just filming your band trying to form a correlation between music and math. And so at the end of the shooting, they called me with the transcript and they say, Kelsey's gonna say your mom was a drug addict. I said, oh my God, you can't do that. Just say, can you say a substance abuser? Just a little, they softened the blow for me. So they did, I was a part of that. And then and I had this one teacher, I actually flunked, I spent an extra year in high school. I'm gonna say I flunked high school because I graduated, but I spent an extra year in high school because I received some scholarships and my mom was bragging about it and she hadn't heard me play. So like a lot of kids, when you're trying to hurt other people, you injure yourself. So I spent an extra year. I could have gone to summer school and graduated, but I refused to go to summer school. And the school system was so poor, I failed 2 classes. And I don't know why I was signed in for a whole year of school the next year for only 2 classes. But I took a full load. So it didn't make any sense to me. So I wasn't going to school at all. And I was selling shoes at a shoe store. I was like the assistant manager of the shoe store. And I visited one of my friends who was attending Chicago State University, which is a commuter school in Chicago. And he told the band director, hey, that guy right there can play. And I said, okay. So I went and I played for him. He said, okay, let me see if I can get you in school here. So he offered me a $200 scholarship. That's what the tuition was. I
Yeah.
thought, man, the money didn't matter because I was, assistant manager of the store, and I was playing in a Latin band of all things, 3 to 4 nights a week. So I had money.
Yeah.
But that $200 showed that he cared about me.
Yeah.
So then I said, okay, I'm going to come to school. So I ended up on the honor roll, and I was the first trumpet player at that school. Then he didn't think that it was challenging enough for me. So he had graduated from Michigan. So he took me up to Ann Arbor to audition,
Hmm.
and they conditionally put me at Interlochen for the summer, and I had to play again. So I practiced 8 hours a day at Interlochen. Then I got into the University of Michigan, and when I, finished, I was playing around town. I used to play in Detroit like every weekend. I could get play with Dave Brubeck and the Spinners, all those kind of groups. And so I said I had $1,000, which was a lot of money to me.
Yeah.
I offered it to Marcellus Browne. That was the teacher's name. And he said, just help 10 people. Help 10 people. I said, man, that's kind of profound right there. So, and I started thinking about that, trying to do the math as it relates to that. So if I help 10 people and I get them to help 10 people and they get those people to help 10 people, then we could make some impactful changes. So, and I always, for all of my life, I feel a debt of gratitude to Marcellus Browne. So they wrote an article about me in the LA Times. So the Oprah people called me.
Huh.
And so I said, okay, this is my chance to thank Marcellus Browne. So I told him I won't go on the show unless I can bring Marcellus Browne and thank him. So they allowed me to do that. And so I just feel like, man, I thought it was going to be a few things would happen with that. One, I get to thank Marcellus Browne, and then I get to impact the people in my family. Because if, Oprah was shot, like literally in the neighborhood that I grew up there. It was her studio was in what was Skid Row, but now it's the Fulton Market area. It's a trendy place in Chicago, but it was Skid Row, literally. And I used to run through there afraid because there's so many people out on the street.
Yeah.
So when I took him there, I was like, great. And then the other other sides of my family got to say, oh, he actually made it. And then I had people get in trouble. I had one side of a lot of people in my family were in trouble all the time. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. It's pretty thick, man. You have a lot of cool, interesting experiences. So I don't know how old you were at that time, but then somehow, so it must have been, well, obviously after you moved to LA, there was some period of time, and then you, how did the center come about? I know Gary Fukushima also mentioned you're friends with Tony White, and I've done a little bit of work with Tony on an educational thing, but so so what happened? How did you come to decide that you wanted to make the center, and that must have taken a bit of work.
It was a lot of work, actually. But you know, here's that divine intervention again.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
I was driving down the street and I heard the worst trombone playing I ever heard in my lifetime. It was so gross. I had to find out who it was, and I found the perpetrator, and it's a little it's a little kid, and the trombone was bigger than he was, and he's making farting sounds on the trombone, but sitting on the sidewalk accompanying him beating on the parking meters on the curb was Billy Higgins.
Oh,
Billy Billy Higgins is a renowned jazz drummer. And then at that moment, I'm thinking like, man, if Billy Higgins can sit down and take time with this kid and he's played with all the greats that he's played with, I didn't feel like I was doing anything.
yeah.
And then when Billy passed, I would go through Leimert Park and I remember like one of my most memorable moments. I mentioned Ella a number of times, but was playing at the Hollywood Bowl with Ella Fitzgerald
Yeah.
and not having a place to go. I went to all the 7-Elevens because it's like electricity running through my body.
Yeah.
And so I go to Leimert Park. It's 4 in the morning now, and people are reciting poetry. They're playing the instruments. It's like the safe pocket. And I
Yeah.
credit Billy Higgins for making that happen because he was bringing so many good people over there that everyone else came to the area like a magnet.
Yeah.
So when Billy passed, I started thinking about it. I said, man, how can I sustain this? Because I only see old people here, and I want to be able to have the same kind of impact that Billy Higgins has on this kind of community. So I said, okay, I'm gonna bring kids to. I put my vision was I'm gonna have kids in the Leimert Park. I went and did an
Yeah.
exercise with a group of people called the Leaders Group. They said, what do you want to do? And so I wrote that exercise down, a business plan. I have no money, of course, no way to actually make this happen. So then I go to Leimert Park, and on the building that I'm in now, there's an eviction notice. It's- I'm not making this stuff up for real. And so I hunt around and I find out who the landlord is. And then he says, Fernando, I know who you are. I'm going through this passionate thing again because I have a way of going through this begging, almost getting on your knees, kind of asking for what I need. so so uh, the landlord said, if I know who you are, and he just gave me the keys. I didn't have a mortgage, nothing. And then I went to backfield and got my friends involved and was able to start the center from that point.
Was your building or is your building on the uh, like a corner across from Barbara Morrison's place?
Exactly. It was a coffee
Oh,
shop.
okay. So over the years, I remember a music school on that side. It must have been your place. And yeah, wow, a long time ago. I remember that long, long time ago. Okay, cool. So it's still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
This is our 15th year.
your 10th year?
15.
15.
Yeah.
15th year. Yeah. Wow, interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And that's another person, of course, who built Leimert Park up was
Barbara.
Barbara. I mean, she amazing, amazing human. Yeah. But
Yeah,
Billy Higgins too, man. I mean, yeah.
yeah, I play with Barbara every Sunday. We made $5 and 2 drink tickets when I moved here. That's what the band made. I don't know what Barbara made. But it was the best band I ever played with. And gas, you can get, I think gas might have been somewhere around
Yeah.
a gallon.
So it was
And
okay.
and so, but it was that band was like the original horn section for Earth, Wind and Fire, the current horn section for Earth, Wind and Fire, Ricky Minor on bass, and they were playing it just for fun. The $5 came in handy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you so it was 15 years ago, and so you started pulling it together. Did you have a? I mean, I'm curious. I want to kind of see what your perspective was. So you went in, and here's the building, and do you start like imagining what could be there, like the rooms and the teaching and the performance space, or what's in your mind?
All of the above.
Yeah,
And first of all, is get kids into the space. That's the hardest part. Just and then people who donate money,
yeah,
they need to know that they're not just throwing their money up in the air.
yeah,
They know it has to be impactful. And like a lot of people that donate to me, they're Wall Street kind of guys. They're really smart. If they have enough money to give to me, then they're pretty savvy. And
yeah,
I just focus on make sure I can deliver on what I'm saying I'm delivering. I just make, and we've been like really successful at getting kids in school. We had a really strong pipeline to Berklee College of Music.
yeah,
And so I just focus on those things to make sure we're performing art school. So, I now have around 1,600 kids that we teach for
oh,
free. So that means I have to be in a performing arts kid school. I have to make sure that every last one of those kids gets on the stage numerous times to make it worthwhile for me to push them and yell at them sometimes. I try to do less yelling because that's not a good step necessarily. But and then but we do have what we call celebrating. That's where they do 5 push-ups if they make a mistake. But but it's but it's
okay, man, that's tough.
no, but it's an honor system. And the reason we call it celebrating is because if you can identify your mistake, you can get better. And it's like, okay, you made a mistake. All right, we finish something and say, all right, you made a mistake, celebrate. You do 5 push-ups. So in the course of rehearsal, you do 20 push-ups. So
Okay,
the next day you try to do 15. Then you're trying to do 10, 5. So you're pushing yourself because I figure I'm not going to be able to follow you to college and motivate you. And as you know, going to college, you have a lot of freedom to make
yeah,
mistakes.
yeah,
So I want them to, so we call it celebrating because it really is something else when you can start picking yourself apart. That's what I do when I'm on stage. Anyone that I know, everyone that I know, they usually be the most unsatisfied with their performance.
yeah, yeah, yep. So, yeah, that's interesting. It's such a different perspective. Um, so, you have all levels of students, right?
Yes,
Yeah. And are you a nonprofit? Is that?
yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So that's part of the. That's good to know. I have this club that I'm booking downtown, and my partner and I, and so we contribute a little bit to nonprofits, like for each person's performance, we do that. So I'm going to add you in there. Um,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Um, yeah. So that's pretty exciting. 1,600 students. Wow. And so are they between certain ages, or you can't go if you're over 18, or what is it?
We're basically 5 to 21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and we do like, 2 full-on musicals every year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
In
So,
there, is there a performance space there, or
well,
you?
we have a small performance space there, but we rent out an auditorium from one of the schools in the area.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Get them on stage. They love that.
yeah, yeah. Do you guys do jam sessions also, or ensembles, or?
We do ensembles.
Yeah.
It's just what I really want to do,
Yeah.
I would love to include seniors in it.
Yeah.
I would love to. I when my mom had me when she was 15.
Uh-huh.
So, with that said, but I had the great fortune because she had me when she was 15 to have five grandmothers until I was in my second year of college. I had two grandmothers, two great grandmothers, and I had my great great grandmother,
Oh, wow.
and she died when she was 103.
Oh, wow.
So I was able, and they longevity. They must have killed the men off. the women survived. I want to be more like the women. So, but because of that, and like my principal caregiver when I was uh, a kid was my great grandmother. Not my grandmother moved to California, and so one of my grandmothers moved to California, and I was not that close to my father's side. I recently connected with my father's side more, and I'm happy to do so because you walk when you walk around and you don't have a part of your family, it feels like it's a piece of you missing.
Yeah, yeah.
So now I'm finally connected with them. So
That's nice.
yeah.
So, yeah, so getting back to what were we saying? Um,
Before or after I started rambling.
before, so I've been rambling right along with you, so now I can't remember either. Um, so let's see. Let's see. We were talking about performances. Oh, you were mentioning that you wanted to have more singers. Perf-
Seniors, senior citizens.
Seniors. Oh, I thought
Yes.
you said singers. Of
Oh
course,
no,
I
no, but
thought you said singers because I'm a singer, so of course everything's about singing. Seniors. Okay.
so right now we're doing monthly. Well, we're doing weekly now. Performance at a senior citizens convalescence home.
Okay.
Because uh, one of my pet peeves for me and about our community, sometimes we're waiting on people to come in and save it and change it, the
Yeah.
government or whatever that might be.
Oh yeah.
I just want to make sure that my kids understand that they're the ones they're the change makers in the neighborhood. And
Cool.
by, getting them to like we were like during COVID, we were feeding the homeless. We were doing all these finding activities to do. We never shut down. We did all our classes online. We got people that were interested. We had went to Marcellus online with us, Kamasi Washington. We had John Mayer, we had Jackson Browne, all these guys teaching online. They're stuck at home too,
Yeah.
and they want to do something that, that's impactful. So we had all those guys teach online. But then I had my students like doing food giveaways and things like that. Then we would find information about housing and medical attention. We make sure that people in the community knew about all those things that were available to them.
Beautiful. That's really nice. So what? How big is your staff?
I have it's around 30 people.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, well, I mean all the stuff you're doing. I would imagine that you do need some staff.
Well, a great number of them are graduates.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very nice. Yeah. Yeah. Um, and so I'm assuming you have vocalists too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have a choir.
A choir. Oh, cool.
Yes, we have a choir.
And what about like, your single jazz singers thing?
Uh, if you can do it. See, here's the thing. We don't have like traditional auditions. We do for the shows, but like if you're gonna be in the band or sing with me, just come sing.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna let you embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
If you can't really handle it, I'm not gonna throw you out there to be ridiculed. So, but I don't tell people what they cannot do. I just learned my lesson with that because you never know who that person is going to be that's going to be successful. So I don't define your limits.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. And do you have like, do you have like regular classes? Like, I mean, just
Yes, we have regular classes. We have
Yeah.
our schedule's online. You can look it up and see what we do on a daily basis.
I'm going to actually look at that right now because I think it would be interesting for people to check that out. And I'm interested. So here we are. So Fernando Pullum,
You can
computer
just put
arts.
pullumcenter.org. There you
Right.
go.
Okay. Excuse me for a second. Yes.
I see the line says classes. I don't know if it's there or not. I'm not tech savvy.
Okay. Let's see. Um, okay. So here I am on your site. I'm relatively tech savvy. And here's our program, upcoming events and classes, I would guess. It's a nice website, by the way.
Thank you. I had nothing to do with it.
Classes offered. Okay. Drama, jazz band, beginning instruments, drumline, drums, dance, choir, songwriting, filmmaking, step, tap. Cool.
Then it's a schedule below there.
Yeah. Uh, so
And if you see it, there's another thing that's really important to me. If you notice that we have dinner on our schedule, we serve
yeah.
dinner every night for free.
Oh, wow. Well, that's really cool. Very cool. So Monday all the way across, I see. So it's actually after regular school, right?
Yes, and we are at certain school sites. We're on campus on certain school sites during the day.
Oh, okay. And now I'm just being a troublemaker here, but I don't see like a jazz vocalist thing.
Uh, we don't have a separate category for that.
Okay. I mean, obviously, it did talk about getting your proper vocal technique and all that stuff. That's cool. Yeah. All right. Well, that has to come sometime, Fernando. I'm giving you some shit.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm used to it. And those are some of the schools that we
Cool.
teach at.
Cool. And just picking one to look at the photos just for fun. There you are. Cool. That's great. Oh. Looks great. Nice. And then for parents, volunteering, fundraising, mate, oh, that's nice. Reaching out and getting involved, impact. So, stories and in the news, I'm sure you have a lot of stuff with the impact. Cool. Lots of wonderful things. And your announcements are coming up. That's great. Wow. Um, wow, somebody's doing a lot of good work, man, on your website and your administration, huh?
Yeah, and I have a great board and support staff.
Uh-huh. Great.
And I work really hard at not being a micromanager. I know what I can't do. I find people that can do that and get out their way. They can't
Yeah.
do that. I find someone else that can do it.
Yeah. I know that's an interesting aspect of running things. you find, I know that for myself too. I never thought of myself as a control freak ever. But then I started thinking, oh, I think I'm a bit of a control freak, because over the years because I create a lot of different things,
Hmm.
and I know I'm a person who, if I see a problem right in front of me, I like to handle it as quickly as possible because otherwise it could fall off the table or whatever. So I like to handle things right away and handle them if I can to a done. So, but yeah, make a long story short, I realized, oh, I'm kind of a little bit of a control freak. I like, I like to get things done well and fast, so yeah, micromanaging is in that box, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think people would buy in and work a little bit harder if they knew that this area, this space right here is mine and it represents me. I don't need to take a bow for everything that happens.
Yeah, yeah. That's lovely. That's a lovely statement. Very nice. Also, I have Lilani Carino Kirby, and she's actually saying, "Thank you for all you do to bring beauty into the world. May peace bloom."
Thank you. I'm trying to shift out of, it's cold as heck outside, but it's sunny in my place here. So try not to get kill myself with the sun. You say, "Woo, it's woo." I have all windows. Jeez.
Well, are you using any heat indoors, or is it just the sun?
Well, you don't need any heat indoors. The sun is pretty intense here.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I mean, it's like I have a magnifying glass instead of windows.
How much time do you spend in Chicago?
Not a lot, not a lot. I mean, it's like therapy for me to
Yeah.
come here
Uh-huh.
because it reminds me. It's a reminder of where I came from,
Yeah.
and I mean, really, it's like some. We all go through these ups and downs. You doubt it yourself, and and things happen that kind of bring you down a little bit. I come here and say, man, when I was here, people said I was going to be nothing. And like I shared with you earlier, they didn't allow people of color to be where I'm living at today. And I didn't even know they had beaches in Chicago. They got over 30 some odd beaches in Chicago.
Wow.
And I come and my sister that I grew up with, all her kids, all the stuff that we did, like witnessed. Her kids are law enforcement.
Hmm.
It's like really crazy to come back and say, you know, I just feel like I have arrived and I feel like I've accomplished something just coming back here and feeling good about, you know, all the stuff that I saw.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been on a long road.
Yeah, because some of it's scary because, like, you know, I didn't think I was like being seen. That's what I like to do, what I'm doing with the kids, like give them a face and a voice, to be
Yeah,
something other than some kids from the ghetto who not gonna make it. And because with my mom was so dangerous. I saw people murdered. Yeah, and then her pimp wanted to sell me, but luckily that didn't happen. I was able to escape that. It's just so many traumatic things that happen, and there's so many things that traumatic that happens to all the kids in my area. Not all the kids, because some of these kids come from great homes,
yeah,
and I don't want to categorize everyone as the same, but for those that are like me, I want them to have, some visibility in the world. And that we don't charge anything because if I had to pay for anything musically when I was growing up, it wasn't gonna happen.
yeah,
So that's why I'm committed to give free classes,
yeah,
because I'm sure that people like me that can't afford it.
yeah, yeah. How can people help the school? Um, there's of course donations, and any other ways that people can help?
Well, you know what? I like when people show up. We have a performance come to it, and then on most occasions, my doors are open. We don't like to have parents like in the piano class and all that stuff looking over their kid's shoulder. because some of the kids just want to get away and have their own space and the parent there. And then sometimes the parents, they're riding the kids or, you
Yeah.
know, they're doing putting pressure on the kids. We just want them to have fun. But for the most part, all my rehearsals are open.
Mm,
You come in, sit inside because the kids get excited. Man, someone paying attention to me. They care about me. They're here. And
yeah.
to be honest with you, I call certain checks blind checks. You know, you might get a
What?
blind check. You get it one check from someone
Yeah.
every now and then. You might get one check,
Yeah.
period, over
Yeah.
their whole lifetime. But I like for people to see what they're contributing to. Then you're more likely to do it again, and then you can, get. I have, you get a great feeling for what you did with your money.
Yeah.
So I have the best seat in the house. I get to see everything. I said, why wouldn't you want to see that?
Yeah.
You know?
That's cool. So people can just actually just show up like after
Yeah,
4 o'clock. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My staff will take you around. You can see what's going on. We don't, we're not gonna let you just run the building by yourself because we're in a society. You have to be careful.
Sure.
But we let people come in.
I'm gonna come over. I want to.
Please do.
I want to look around and yeah,
Yeah.
great. I love it. Um, yeah, Lamert Park is really an amazing spot. For those of you listening, Lamert Park is a section of Los Angeles. um, it's kind of a mixed, you know, um, right, mixed racially. It's kind of a safe spot, right?
I think it's one of the safest spots in the city.
Yeah, it's really cool, and there's a village with stores, and the famous jazz drummer Billy Higgins had a place. He started it a long, long time ago called the World Stage. It was very small for a long time. Then it had to move across the street. Now it's actually quite a good size, and it's now run by by my friend
White.
Dwight Tribble, and it's really a cool space, and it's you just get this whole contributory feeling, that it's always contributed um, to the community, and um, gosh, I just remember Billy Higgins there. He's one of the most joyful drummers, right, ever.
Yes.
I mean,
Always with a smile.
yeah, always, and he's so great. Have you seen Christian Human play?
No.
He also, it's like Billy Higgins spit him out. I mean, he's totally excited and in love with playing the music in the moment. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous thing to see, and he's a beautiful player. He went to the Monk Institute. He came up in that whole thing.
Oh, okay. I think I know who you're talking about.
Lovely guy and
Because
really
we
great.
we had a partnership with them for a long time.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, so just to clue people in, and Lark Park, and then Barbara Morrison, who was a standing singer, um, and she created the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center, which is kind of across the street from Fernando's place, and that place, and she also had the Jazz and Blues Museum there, and she contributed a lot to that area and the community. I mean, so much. They had a jam session for years there, and the Performing Arts Center is just a great little space where a lot of people have brought their things to perform. And yeah, it's a great community that creates amazing ripples out into the broader the broader jazz community. It's really great.
Mm.
So yeah, and also, didn't I hear from the guy who runs Barbara's Center now? Isn't there there's a new building in Lamert Park,
The
right? And
Vision Theater. They renovated the Vision Theater. and Tina Knowles, who's Beyonce's mom, is going to be managing it. It's beautiful.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what is that going to be like a expensive theater to go into, or is it going to be more open to community, or
I well, I can't guarantee anything but I think it's going to be, the city owns it,
yeah,
so I think they're going to try to make it, impact the community in such a way that they can't let the prices be out of control.
yeah, I hope so. Yeah, that's good. Oh, and how could I even forget Fifth Street Dicks? Were you there around for Fifth Street Dicks?
Yes,
So that was
yes.
another place in Lemert Park that had jam sessions all the time, and my friends would play there. And yeah, um, upstairs, that was a really cool scene. Very friendly, very fun.
I was embarrassed to be taken to um, Babe and Ricky's. Do you know the place?
Yes, I was just going to mention that too.
I didn't know nothing about it. Jackson Brown took me to that for the first
Really?
time. He and Kev Mo. I said, how does this guy know about my neighborhood? You pay $5, heard great music, and then they served fried chicken, cornbread, and greens in intermission for the five
Yeah.
bucks.
Yeah, man, that was great. Now, who was the great blues singer, that woman who sang there?
Oh my
Do you
God.
remember?
I think her name was Bobby something.
I almost think it was Babe. Um, yeah, I can't remember her name. She was incredible. She was an amazing blues singer. Wow.
With no mic from the back of the room over the band. I said, how? And she was not a big woman.
No, she was not.
I said, how's this happening? I said, man, it's unbelievable. No, her name Mickey Champion. That was her
There you
name.
go. I was going to
Yeah,
say champion, but yeah.
yeah.
Nikki Champion. Oh, wow. I have to look her up again. I'm sure you know, there's stuff on her, right, on YouTube or something. Mickey Champion.
Has to be.
Yeah. Yeah. God, those were good days. Yeah. I came to LA when I was 21. So it's been a long time. And in those days, there was also some jam sessions, like one was on Venice Boulevard somewhere that lasted all night.
Mm.
and and then yeah, there was a gig, an all-night gig that Henry Franklin ran on Sunset and Laurel Canyon right there. And yeah, there were all kinds of cool things. Actually, Jimmy Smith had a place in North Hollywood,
I had no idea.
yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, I met a lot of those guys. I don't know if you know Gerald Wilson, but I played in his band for like 3 years, and it was
Oh,
like going to college.
oh
You hear all
man.
the stories. It was crazy.
I remember seeing the band and seeing this little white kid in the front playing guitar and thinking, who's this kid? And turned out to be Anthony, his son. But
Hmm.
um, yeah, but that was a really beautiful band. I mean, yeah, the LA is so rich. I mean, it's been through so many different growth spurts. And when I first came here, I was a waitress at Dante's in North Hollywood, which is a
Mm.
great jazz. So I was there for about a year and a half, and that's actually where I met a lot of jazz musicians. And yeah, and even that period, I mean, that was a beautiful period too. And yeah, it's really interesting. Do you get out into LA much, like to see what else is happening, and or to play in some of the smaller clubs, or
No, I'm trying to. I don't have that much time.
yeah,
Like I said, I'm planning. I have Sweeney Todd coming up. That's
yeah,
gonna be like 4 weeks of playing, which is fun. I have to do. I have to play for therapy.
yeah, of
You know,
course.
and then I and also to motivate my students because I mean, a lot of folks, they say, man, a lot of people don't even know what the instrument their band director played,
Yeah.
because they never played. You tell these kids, you got to practice every day, and they never pick up a horn. So I think that's something really bad about that.
Yeah.
So, but when I get on stage, I don't have to tell anyone anything, tell people what to do. I just hear and concentrate on making music and have fun that way. But it really is therapy for me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I remember, I don't know if you know Bruce Foreman, the guitarist.
I know of him.
Yeah. So for a while, he had a nonprofit that had other professional guitar players. They would all come together, and then if you were a student, you would come, and there was no music. I
Hmm.
mean, no, nothing, no reading.
Hmm.
It's all just playing, and nobody really taught. It was just here we are, we're playing, and the kids trying to listen and figure it out. And of course, I mean, he could ask questions, but yeah, it turned out some great guitar players actually.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, I went to see a performance at the Monk Institute,
Yeah,
and Herbie Hancock and Wayne Shorter were out to play with some of the students.
yeah.
And the students, of course, were anxious. So they said, "What we gonna play? What we gonna play?" And they just Herbie and Wayne looked at each other and just smiled a little bit. And they said, "Well, we're gonna play a song. It's gonna lead into another song, and it's gonna lead into another song. Use your ears." I mean, I was terrified for them. I say, man, how do you manage that? And then there's a lot of people with that tradition. I was playing with Kristen McBride. We played that concert tribute to James Browne at the Hollywood Bowl, and Christian was the band leader. And he said, "Where's the music at?" I said, "Man, everybody knows these songs. I don't think people quite understand there's the difference between playing jazz and being in a section."
Yeah,
So I was not going to do that. So I just wrote out the music for the horn players because I want to be on stage. Come on, are you playing the fifth of the chord? I'll play the third. We only have one rehearsal. So if you're a guitar player or a single instrument, you can do that,
yeah.
and jazz is a lot more free flowing, but a lot of those guys have that school. Just listen, it'll come to you because that's how they all taught.
Well, I remember, so I had a jam session for 16 years every week, and the first 7 years was really great. It was in North Hollywood at the Sportsman's Lodge. This was like, I think it was around 2000, maybe 1999, 2000, something like that. And it was just, it was a great session. Just anybody would come in. There was no real stage, it was on the floor. And if you came in with your trumpet, I'd come over and say, "Hi, you want to sit in right now?" And I'd get you
Mm,
up, and it was great. And there were singers and there was everybody. It, and
mm,
But one of the most fun things about it to me was the horn players would all get together and play together the fills or the backgrounds. They don't,
mm.
that whatever they would do, and it was just so much fun. It was great. It was musical and it was fun, and they just knew what to do. It was wonderful. I don't see that so much anymore. I guess it's maybe old school stuff, or I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, they do some of that at the world stage.
Yeah,
And I noticed a lot of clubs are now understanding like, and what's sounds first they do it also. The band will play, the hired band will play a set, then they invite people to come in and jam afterwards. A lot of people are doing that now, and there's so many good players in LA now. It
yeah,
it, it didn't. I mean, it wasn't like that when I first came to LA.
yeah,
There's so many young players,
yeah.
at least that I noticed. We had great players, but it's just a larger number. It appears to me.
Oh, definitely. I think in the old days there was like more old school people, you know, that were
Yeah.
great. But yeah, over the last 15 years or so, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's like an embarrassment of riches. It's great, man. So
Yeah.
many. young people coming up and playing. And actually, Ryan played at this club that I'm booking downtown. So the club is called Birds of a Feather Jazz Lounge, and it's kind of right behind Disney Hall and the Mark Taper Forum.
Oh, wow.
hmm It's in a really good Vietnamese vegan restaurant called O Lac. So you go inside, you go to the back, there's a door. You oh, the door opens and there's this club. I'll show you just a picture or two, just
Is
so you can. It's really nice.
is it like a speakeasy?
Kind of, yeah. And it's very intimate. I'll tell you something that you can kind of keep in the back of your mind because you never know. Maybe you can use it. They don't serve alcohol, and you
Mm-hmm.
cannot bring alcohol in. So the cool thing about that is it's open for all ages.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty wonderful, right? And so so yeah. So here,
Oh,
this is
that's
the door.
beautiful.
Yeah, and then uh, there's the stage. We have a whole back line. We have a piano,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, it's really nice. And let me see. There's a few other kind of really nice pictures. Um, we had Nolan Shahid was in there recently, and he
Oh, I
was
missed that.
yeah, but he's coming back actually because um, he he did. I mean, he played there before when I booked it. I booked it before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened, and then I got my friend Sydney Jacobs, who's a wonderful singer, and I said, "You want to start this up again with me?" So we upgraded it. We upgraded the lights, the sound system. We got the piano in there, and yeah. We so Nolan had played before when I booked it, and so he played again with Ricky Woodard and Smitty Smith and Kevin O'Neill, and yeah, so he's gonna kind of play there once every 6 weeks or something. Nolan, it was really fun. It was absolutely packed. It was great. Um,
But, but
but
Nolan's the one that
anyways,
mixes our. We do our recordings in Nolan's studio
oh, cool, cool,
because he's one of the few people that. First of all, he's one of the best musicians I ever met in my life.
yeah,
And actually, I'm going back to Ella Fitzgerald again.
yeah.
He's the reason I played with Ella Fitzgerald, was subbing for him.
Oh, you're kidding.
No,
That's
yeah,
so
he's,
cool.
yeah,
I love Nolan. Nolan
yeah.
is he's a prince. He's great. I really love Nolan. Yeah. So on so many levels, he's so great. Um yeah, so anyway, and the room is open for people to use, and the food is really healthy and great, and there's no drinking, and there's a whole back line, and there's parking under the building, and it's really a nice situation.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, and it's small, it's about 40 audience members, so it's
hmm.
pretty intimate, very nice. So yeah. Um, anyway, yeah. So that's where Ryan played too. This like a month or two months ago, Ryan played there, and that was a really nice concert. So Sydney and I kind of started booking it again in December. It wasn't exactly closed, but Sydney and I started bringing it, upgrading it and stuff. So and now we're starting to get booked a lot. Now the biggest problem is I'm wondering if I have time for my husband coming up.
Mm,
Because there's a lot of we've booked a lot of people and they're still coming in, so
mm,
it's not a bad problem though.
yeah. We got a number of kids with records out now that
Oh,
can play.
oh,
Uh,
cool.
yeah. Well. Ryan is not a kid anymore. I don't know if you know Chris Poe, Christopher Poe plays saxophone. He
Yeah,
just graduated from Berkeley.
yeah, I think I know his name.
And then I have Ronnie Hurd. He and Veritas Miller have a record out. And then Tatiana has a record coming out. Tatiana said.
Tatiana, yeah,
Yeah,
she was all set to play, and something happened, but she's gonna probably play there. Yeah, she's a wonderful player.
yeah. Nice young lady too.
Lovely. You
Yeah,
know, a few months ago, I saw her with, I think it was kind of a world stage band at the museum.
yeah. Well,
Um,
Chris was the band before that.
oh,
Yeah.
isn't that where I met you? Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah, that's where we met. Yep,
Okay.
that was a beautiful concert. Yeah, I
Oh
was
yeah.
working for Rocco's, Rocco's organization, the LA, I mean the Angel City Jazz Festival, which
Okay.
hosted them. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that series over there. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's really nice. I used to work it when it was in the other location with the other guy, Doran Stalvey. They like right in the middle of the right in the middle of the entryway of the museum. That's where the music was first, and it was wonderful. Oh, I love that
I know
location.
exactly. I played there with Gerald Wilson.
Oh,
Yeah,
wasn't that a great location for the
I
music?
loved it.
Me too. The sound was really good and the feeling was good. Yeah. But I'm glad it's continuing on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those bands were great that night. I loved them.
Well, it's easier when you have the building to help you with the acoustics.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
that was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say I actually liked the earlier location better with for the acoustics. But you know, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
now it's open. I think the space is a lot bigger, right?
Yes. And
Yeah.
it lends itself to people like to lounge out. The
Yeah.
people I think they have more fun because they can utilize the grass
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and they have a huge seating area.
Yeah. 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 It's good. So, what are your general plans? I mean, do you, if you don't mind me asking, are you just basically committed to, determined to continue exactly what you're doing, or do you have ideas to expand out into anything else?
Well, you know what? I tell everyone that's teaching you, if you're a teacher, you learn from your students too.
Yeah.
It's not a one-way street. So I was cursed by listening to one student. And he told me, he said, Mr. Pullum, in biology today, they told me that if something is not growing, it's dying. So now in my head, I have to get better at what we're doing every year. So,
Okay, so the question is, how are you getting better, or how are you going to get
I
better?
I'm trying to get better by increasing the quality of instruction because I think that's more important. It's not a numbers game. You can grow. I've seen people grow so much that they fail, but I want to make sure that I have the infrastructure that will sustain itself and make sure that the quality is getting better every time we step out. So
Right.
that's what I'm trying to do most importantly. And then I would love to be in Chicago. I mean,
And
it's my
ex-
hometown.
expand the school into Chicago?
I would like to because I'm from here. I like to see, my neighborhood helped a lot. During COVID, I had three cousins shot. Like,
Oh,
that was like, man. But when I was growing up in that area, when the band was playing, like, this is a crazy story that, and you probably shouldn't tell it, but but was tell it anyway. I'm on the freeway now with it. So we my friend and I we lived across from the projects
okay.
and we saw these drum and bugle corps perform and we were determined like man we want to march in parades and start a band in our neighborhood. So we went to the boys club. They had instruments lying around, and so they were going to let us use the instruments. So in order to entice people into the room with us, we would get a big bottle of beer.
Huh.
At the end of the rehearsal, you get a sip. So it'd be like 50 people sipping on one bottle of beer. So it was no way you're gonna get drunk or anything like that. You just got your lips wet. It's like going to church and taking communion or something. So, but we start marching parades. So, but the thing is with that, when the music was happening, when we were performing, no one was getting shot. Everyone was listening to the music, and it created a huge distraction that was like great and motivated people in the community to do things. So that's what I would like to try to go to my community and give them an opportunity to experience what we experienced.
That's great. Okay, so are you going to do that like next month?
Oh man. You know, I said infrastructure, but I did talk to people at Northwestern. They're willing to possibly give us their instruments, because you know these schools they get endorsements, and they just every couple of years they get new instruments, and they have nothing to do with those. But I'm begging them for those instruments, so hopefully I'll be able to take those into the community. I just have to find someone passionate about delivering,
Hmm.
uh, you know, education to go along with those instruments. I don't want them just to be sitting up in boxes and cases.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay. It's pretty impressive.
Only if we get it done.
Yes, but still, it's a you know, it's a beautiful, it's a beautiful, uh, um, whatever the word I'm trying to think of. It, you know, it's a goal. You know, beautiful goal.
Yeah.
I was thinking I would like to show people a little bit. Should I show them, like the um, Michael McDonald thing, or should I show them something else about the school? Like, because I noticed that there's a bunch of
And he's been doing it for years in the community.
so I think I already saw that, right? I think this. Oh no, no.
Teaching the youth about music. And right now they're about to teach you how they do music. Are you guys ready?
This is the school, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm a very poor dancer.
I think you look good, man.
That's the young man with a record out.
Oh, okay.
He attended Berkeley as well.
Yeah.
There's Chris Poe in the front row too, to my left.
Oh,
He's
okay.
standing right
Yeah.
there.
Cool. Band sounds really good.
Well, thank you. A lot of push-ups, a lot of celebrating.
Yeah. Have fun.
You know, I love James Browne.
Yeah, man. cool, man. Very, very cool. So, yeah, Fernando. So, um, just curious, uh, is there a way that you pick the soloist? Is there kind of a typical way you pick the soloist, or it just is what it is?
Well, usually, I'm not going to play anything that I know is going to be way, way above the people's ability that take forever to
Yeah.
do. And but I do pick things I'm going to pick a few things that are going to be really challenging for you. And but I like the
Hmm.
harmonic things to be good harmonically. The arrangement has to be good, and I want the audience to have fun.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
it's it's still it's entertainment.
Right. Right. I have a friend here, a guy named Mark Baldrige, and he lives in Chicago actually. And he said, I don't know if you know this group, but he said if you're looking to help you with the music, the Hyde Park Jazz Society can help lead you in the right direction.
Oh wow, I like to meet him. See,
Yeah.
one of my favorite
There you
composers
go.
used to be Thad Jones. Well, he's still one of my favorite composers. It's hard to get his music
Yeah.
now because it's not printed.
Oh.
But that
Oh, really?
Thad Jones music
Yeah.
is so difficult and entertaining as well. I
Yeah.
always felt like I was giving a kid a private lesson if he played through the part. So we don't really have auditions per se. If you come in, like
Yeah.
I said, you come in and you're willing to practice it, it might take you a little bit longer, but if you get through it, then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
It, I learned my first lesson with a lot of that when it was called they used to call it the Playboy Jazz Festival. It's at the Hollywood Bowl, and
Okay.
they wanted a band from the inner city. So they approached me because I had a great marching band. We were the city champions in marching band. I didn't have a jazz
Uh-huh.
band, so they said, "Hey, you got a jazz band like everything else?" I said, "Yeah, I have one." Okay, I do. I did. so so I said, "The tuba player, now you play bass." I would ride that kid. I didn't realize what he was doing because his mom didn't like to be disturbed. He would sit in his closet and practice. So I played like a Thad Jones version of a song, and I said, "Hey, this is the high school kids from New Orleans." I lied, of course, and I said, "We have to be able to do this." So I didn't care how we did it. We got through four missions one day, then we got at another four the next day, and I would go on and say, "Oh, please, please get these kids through this song." And then when they finally made it through the song, and they sounded amazing, and that taught me. That's why I said I don't put limitations on people, but that was a huge lesson for me. He said, I can't tell them what they can and cannot do. Just dream big, put the music in front of them, and they will step up to the occasion. They rise up to the occasion. So, and then I told them when they got through the song and they were so great at it. I told them the truth at that point. Hey, that was Thad Jones. That was not a high school band. And then now they believing in themselves also because like, wow, we did that. It's just believing. You have to know. You have to believe that you can do something before you actually do it.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
then
that's a great story.
because then I took. I know you guys. You know guys from what's the Black Now. You know those guys, the Lawrence brothers, Aaron and Lawrence Shaw.
Black now? No, I don't.
But they're really good players. But I've taken the kids. I've taken my students to Cuba twice. We went to Brazil. We
Oh,
played there. We played in Barcelona, and then I had them to play a Jewish wedding in New York, and we were playing like all the horrors and stuff like that. And people were freaking out. I said, "It's just music." So, but when we were traveling around the world, those kids would start saying, "Man, we would have a jam session at the end, have the people from the different countries set up and play with us." And
yeah.
some of the kids that were awful, I mean, but they didn't have any. They didn't care if they sounded bad. They just wanted to play. But now they can play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tatiana was. We had Wayne Bergeron and uh, the first principal trumpet player from the LA Philharmonic come down to Leimert Park, and I had a drum and bugle corps. They were multiple years world champions in the street of Leimert Park. So Tatiana said, "I want to play." So she get on the stage and she's standing next to Wayne Bergeron taking a solo. It didn't sound good, but she sounds amazing now. You know, so it's just creating an
Yeah.
opportunity for those cats to play.
Yeah. Wow, that's great, man.
Well, send one of
Yeah.
your
Wow, they
charts.
must have been. What do you, what?
Send one of your charts.
Which chart?
You sing, right?
Yeah.
But send us a song.
You mean just like a regular, just a song?
Yeah, you have sheet
For,
music. Yeah,
I
just
have like
send us
600. Well,
send me a couple of songs and keys. What key you sing them in, or your tunes.
okay, standards or other stuff.
Whatever. I don't. We don't just play jazz
Okay.
because you started just trying to play jazz, in my opinion. Unless you went to Marcellus or Herbie Hancock. So so I like. But we just play music.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
But send me
Well,
what you.
I'll
Yeah,
send
send me a
samples.
couple.
Yeah. I grew up singing standards because my dad was a sax player, and I had twin sisters and one played piano and they sang, and my mom used to sing. So we just grew up singing for old age homes and for my dad's gigs because he led a band, and
That's great.
just kept coming up. Yeah. And then I went to Berkeley because I played flute. They didn't have voice at the time. So I
Wow.
went for flute. And then after that, I came to LA. And so, um, yeah, but so my music, I mean, it was the 70s, and the music from the 70s was so powerful, especially in Boston. It was, just a real mix of groove and also ECM music and Miles and just a real mixture of stuff. So yeah, so my book is kind of a mixture of stuff. You know, I like I like a lot of different things.
That's better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's music, right? It's creating.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I still do workshops too. I have a workshop coming up with a guitar player and myself. So I want guitar players to come and see how you play with a singer. I want singers to come and see how you sing with guitar because guitars, that's kind of unusual. It's unusual in the air. A lot of times singers are okay with piano, but guitar, they're a little there's something about the tonality, that is a little confusing. So I'm going to do like a standard kind of a woodshed thing, and I do these scat labs, that
Hmm.
are. I mean, I do a regular scat class too, but then I also do like a scat lab that's shorter and just for people to come and I like user friendly teaching on scatting, and so like if I can get the people to sing one note that they hear and the chord going by, I say, "Welcome to Scat 101. You just scatted."
Mm.
I like it to be easy. It's like, I mean, yeah, it's music, like you said. We're making music. We're having fun, and I think I have the right idea of how to teach people to enjoy and to do. You know.
Well, if you ever feel like doing a
Um,
class, come in and hang out with us, please do.
I'd love to.
It's gonna be a little bit weird for me for the next until the end of February, but
Uh huh.
anytime after that would be great.
Yeah, I'd love to. I love teaching, and yeah, I like getting into people's perspective. Like what are they seeing or what are they not seeing, or
Hmm.
uh, you know, kind of giving them. a real approach to stuff, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, we're gonna do that. Actually, my partner, he would love to do something too. His name is Sidney Jacobs. He's a wonderful, wonderful singer,
Really?
and a really gregarious person. And yeah, he's very outgoing and beautiful, beautiful guy, and he loves contributing.
Well,
Yeah.
well, God bless you. I don't think I could never date a trumpet player.
Well, he's not that kind of a partner. He's my partner in business with
Oh, okay. You say partner.
birds of a feather. No,
Okay,
no, my husband is he's not a musician, although he has played drums in his life, but he's not a musician.
okay,
But
okay.
yeah, he in fact he's not even a big jazz fan. So, but when I first met him and I danced with him, I said, "It's a good thing you have rhythm because otherwise I couldn't date you." And he said, he laughed, and I said, "I'm not actually kidding." It's like, no, no, you gotta have rhythm. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. You
uh,
know, we're in California. I hear the word partner all the time, so I'm always confused.
I know, I
Yeah.
know. I should say business partner when I'm talking about
Yeah.
Sydney. He's a really cool guy. Um, he's a great singer. Actually, when I met him, he was already a great singer. I mean, he was, singing, but more R&B, and B, and he came to a class that I had for scouting because he wanted to
Mm.
get into scouting, and just gorgeous sound. Actually, he was in the last version of who did Up and Away,
Yeah, I
you
know
know,
that. Fifth Dimension.
famous group, Fifth Dimension. So he was
Yes.
in the last version of Fifth
Oh,
Dimension.
wow.
Um, yeah, but they just stopped because the last person, the woman who's the last original person, she's over 80 and she just was okay. I think that's it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so he's a gorgeous singer, just electrifying, and
Hmm.
his personality is very vibrant. He's a wonderful wonderful guy. Actually in the up until now, I never really had business partners. I always created the stuff myself, and I would have helpers, but just not partners. And this time, for some reason, I reached out to him and I thought, he probably would like to help me with this club, and he was definitely into it. So it's great because we think alike, and you know, and he does what I don't do, and I do what he doesn't do. It's great, nice partnership. You'll have to meet him. You'll have to come over, sometime to the club.
Please, I would. I will. I just have to. I'm trying to find something to send to you. It's
Okay.
actually one of my favorite performances. I don't know if I'm going to email it to you. I don't know if you can play it.
Yeah, I can. I'll open my email.
Okay. I'm going to send you two things.
Okay, cool.
The first one isn't my favorite performance, but it's one of them. We just did a thing with
Okay.
Aloe Black and the Earth, Wind, and Fire horn section.
Oh,
That's how we raise money for the program.
okay. Did you send it yet?
Yes, I emailed it.
Yep. There. Okay, I got it. And just opening. Come on there, open up. It's downloading, I guess.
Okay. I know why I can't find this thing.
Here we go. It's getting, let's see. Cool. Okay, I got it actually. So, okay, so tell us one more time what
This
what we're
this
looking at.
see what you're looking at to raise money to support my program. I invite artists to sing with us, and I invited Aloe Black and the Earth, Wind, and Fire horn section to play this with us.
Great. And so how does that, how do you go about raising money with it? Do you show it?
We show it online, and then people contribute that way.
I see, okay. All right, well, here it is. Oh, cool.
You want my love and you can't deny. You know it's true, but you try to hide. You turn down love like it's really bad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't give what you never had. No, no. Well, bless your soul, you can fool a few. But I know the truth, and so do you. You can't hide, I bet ya. Oh, no, 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 I bet ya. Bet ya. Can't hide love, can't hide love. I bet ya. You can't hide the feeling inside. You can't pretend there's nothing there. Girl, I look in your eyes, I see you care. So why not stop trying to run it high? You won't find out if you never try. You want my love, I bet you. Ooh, I bet you. Yeah. You want my love, well, I bet you. The feeling inside. Love has found a time for kissing. Can you find a time to listen? Life's found a time to want you.
Cool.
I
Man,
just,
love that.
yeah, we,
Fantastic. Wow.
I don't know. I was trying to find this thing. We did a thing with, we did my, Naima with Kamasi Washington.
Oh,
That was such a great performance.
very nice. Yeah, this is really just so good. That was Nolan's studio I saw. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm familiar with that studio. Yeah. Well, that's really great. Gosh, Fernando, it's so nice to actually get to know you. I can't believe that I knew about your place so long ago and I just never kind of hooked up over there. It's amazing.
We're fast friends now.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. I will be checking out the club and everything. So just let me know.
Yeah, it's cool. I'll I'll send you the website, and then you can just come over there. Be my guest and come over and you'll see Sydney and yeah, um, yeah. So when are you coming back to LA now?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't go for too long. Plus, the time I'm here is like it's 80, 75, and 80 degrees in LA. Like what? Like what happened? This a cruel switch.
I know, I know. Who knows, man? It's January 19th and it's like 80 degrees. Whatever.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Well, that's what got me there in the first place. Did you come in the winter time when you came from Boston?
um, I think I came in the summer originally.
I don't know how it impacted you, but for me, it was the palm trees outside of the airport. I'd never seen the palm tree in person. So like, oh man, I'm in an exotic place right now. Palm trees. Like it was yeah, those meant everything to me.
Well, I went to San Francisco first.
Okay.
Um, it was pretty and everything, but it was so much like Boston, and I really wanted to expand into something new. And so after, I think it was, might have been 6 months, my boyfriend and I moved down to LA, and we lived for a while in Palmdale because he was originally from Palmdale, and that really didn't I didn't quite understand the desert, because coming from Boston, it's like because
Mm.
Boston's wet and green, and so the desert was I didn't quite get into the beauty of it, and then we moved to North Hollywood, so that was okay, and then I started working at Dante, so I was cool, but I don't really I you know for a long time, I was not into the environment in LA because I missed that Boston terrain and wetness
Um,
and green. So I
el-
really missed that.
you really, I mean, I could see it in Palmdale because I mean, you're in the desert.
Yeah.
I don't, no, no shade against Palmdale, but it needs to be a lot more happening out there. I don't,
Oh,
and
yeah.
especially the time, I don't know what was going on when you first moved out here and going to Palmdale. But check out this. I just found the Kamasi thing. I sent it to you.
Okay, cool. I'll look at that.
Yeah. So that's more of a jazz thing.
Yeah. I will say that I never understood how people lived far away from the ocean. In LA, it's like, I'm not going to be living in Andy or
I don't think
Okay,
a
so
lot
let
of
me.
people don't realize how close they are to the ocean. In South Central, I mean, the houses are facing north and south. If they turn a lot of those houses to the west, they can look at the ocean from the house.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. When I had a boyfriend who was a sax player before I met my husband. His name was Harold Bennett, and he lived over in that area. And so I went over in that area a lot. But then then he eventually came over to Northwood. Okay, so now I have, and
Oh, you can either play Jackson
so
or
what are we
Kamasi.
looking
I sent
for?
you Kamasi too.
Oh, okay. So down here,
No, it's a different one.
this is what it
Okay,
this is what it opened up.
go up some. Oh, I don't know why I
Do you
did
want me to
that.
search for it,
I don't
or
know why that happened that
should I
way.
search for it?
Yeah, see if that happens. Just put Naima, see if that works. Let's get our poor computer skills together and see. No, it didn't come up. I guess you can play.
Now, should I say Fernando?
Uh, maybe.
Naima? Nope. Okay, let's see. Yeah,
FPCAC. How about that? FPCAC.
F what?
FPCAC. Naima. How about that? Okay.
Right.
I don't know why it's not showing that one.
And then so this is I just went right here to this Vimeo. Oh, this one. Maybe this is it instead.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is it.
January calendar. Cool.
Very nice. Wow. God, they sound good.
Thank you. That's all in Nolan's studio. You saw Kamasi's
Yeah.
in Nolan's studio too.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun.
It's great. Well, believe it or not, it's been 2 hours.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I'm gonna let you go. And thank you. I feel honored to have you, on. And I just think what you're doing is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, yeah, thank
Well,
you.
thank you so very much. And I will see you in the hood.
Absolutely, man. I
All
can't
right.
wait to come over and look. Oh, Frederick Smith Jr. is here.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Small world.
I know. I
Yeah.
know. All right. You have a great rest of the day. Safe travels home, and
Okay, thank you.
I'll see you over here.
See you soon.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
everybody. Thank
Bye.
you. And I just wanted to let people know this week, if you're in LA, I'm having a scat lab on Wednesday. So Wednesday evening, scat lab. It's just a 2 hour lab at my home studio, and it's just 25 bucks, and it's fun. It's very user friendly. And Saturday, if you're in the mood, I have a steady gig down in Santa Monica. You can see all this information on my website, but 9:30 a.m. to 1. I sing down near the beach, 2nd and Broadway. And at night, this Saturday, we have Josh Nelson performing at Birds of a Feather Jazz Lounge in downtown. That's the club I'm running. And Sunday brunch, we're having the well-known and great DJ, jazz DJ, Leroy Downs, and we're actually having him spin, and so you can actually. It's not just a sitting and listening thing. It's bring your friends, come on down, hang out, listen to what he's playing. You can schmooze with your friends. You can eat, and for $20 you get a, either our choice of appetizer or dessert, and then you can eat more if you want. But we're going to try that, and it's going to be fun. And then next Monday, I'm having a singer from Europe on this show, Kevin Norwood. He's really good. By the way, this today's Fernando was 660 number of interviews I've had. So I'm keeping going because I want to. It's lovely. All right, you guys have a really good week. I hope I see you at one of the things in LA and have fun. Bye.